see that they decorated the temple, man. The temple was decked out. Just like you see, this is just a little bit of decorations. Little something. So imagine us in our full glory. That thing was royal, man. Big old candlestick chandeliers with the candles in it. Probably a chandelier hanging with the 7 candlesticks. You know what I'm saying? That thing was right, bronze, gold, the shields. Full solid gold, solid silver, the silver dripping. When they put the, what's it called, the tinsel on the tree, that silver lining, that thing look pretty, man. So imagine real gold tinsel. You know what I'm saying? And real silver tinsels, or where there ain't no damn platinum. Platinum is a man-made element. You don't read about platinum in the scriptures. So the white man's getting off on these rappers with that platinum. You know what I'm saying? He's selling them with just a piece of metal. But I just wanted to give y'all that rundown so y'all know what we're dealing with and what we're going into. You ready to go in?
All right, everybody, this is a celebration. This is a remembrance. This is our culture, right? This is us in our glory. You know, this is us in our kingly and priestly state, right? This is us being resilient. Like the scriptures say, Judah, who shall rouse them up? It seems like our people be fake woke. I was getting on them for Thanksgiving. It was fake woke all summer. As soon as Turkey Day come, they back to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Even the white media, they know you give these niggas 2 weeks to get mad and then they back to sleep. Yeah. Like something happened, niggas is mad, they protest for 2 weeks, and then they right back to sleep. So right now we're gonna get into a story of the Hanukkah, right? Where our people stayed focused, stayed resilient, and stayed in a priestly and kingly state and overcame adversity. Gone? Alright, so let's get into it. Let me get 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And I suggest y'all read the first 4 chapters of the Maccabees, right? First Maccabees, read the first 4 chapters yourself to get the full understanding. But I'm going to go through some of these verses. I'm going to skip some verses unless the brothers want to go into one of the verses that I skipped. But I'm also going to get into some of these verses so y'all can get the umph of it.
I got a summary. You got a summary too? With that book?
Yeah. On the Half-Million Dynasty and who was there.
Okay, that's good to have that. Well, I got a different summary. And I got some precepts too, but I'm gonna wait till.
I mean, if you got the precepts while I'm doing this, just call them out.
Nah, cause I'm gonna go into something else, just showing that the dedication of the altar was here before the Maccabees. This is not when they talk about, because you got some Israelites that say if it's not written in Leviticus 23, you're not supposed to follow it. They say that's not the Most High, right? The Most High didn't give us those feast days, but the dedication of the altar was back when we had the temple. You see, and that's what this is. This is the dedication of the altar after they got defiled by the Greeks.
So let me get 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes.
Now this is actual history. The Persian and Mede Empire, Alexander and his reign, this is actual history. This is why the Catholic Church or the Christian Church, they say that the Bible, the Apocrypha is non-canon, it's a historical. That's why they try to take it out from the Bible. That's why they removed it from the Bible. Because this makes the Bible too real. Like, it's this one thing that the Bible goes into the Egyptian Empire and the Babylonian Empire. Those empires are so far away that it's like, oh, it's mystical. You know what I'm saying? White man try to play it off. It's mystical. You know what I'm saying? But this, when you go into Darius, in the Persian Empire, and you go into their beloved. Oh, they love Alexander because he's the beginning of really white supremacy. Alexander the Greek, aka Alexander the Freak, right? He's the beginning of white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Got a question?
Is this written before Alexander? Like, is it prophecy or is it more so scribes recording what's going on?
This right here is scribes recording, but the prophecy is in Daniel chapter 8. I think people want to pull that, right?
Daniel 8.
Now, you can pull it now. I was going to pull it. I got a whole bunch
Let me
of
get
other
Daniel
stuff.
8 with that Daniel 8:21. It talks about this in prophecy. Daniel, he prophesies about this.
Desolation.
This is
Desolation and abomination, desolation.
Daniel chapter 8, verse 20. I'm going to start at 19.
All right, we start at Daniel chapter 8, verse 19.
Yeah, Salakia.
Quran, you got the thumb tabs on the side. You just look at the Daniel.
So you get to understand that this is the prophecy of Alexander, the Greek, and the Greeks.
This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 19. And he said, Behold, I will make thee known that what shall be in the last end of the indignation. For at the time appointed the end shall be. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia.
The what?
Media and Persia.
And when you go back, right, you go back to the first part of First Maccabees, because it talks about Media, it talks about the Medianites, right, and it talks about Persia. We'll go back to First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1, because it talks about Persia.
This is First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 1.
So Daniel was bringing out what was going to happen now, in the time of Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Greek, or Alexander the Freak, right? Go ahead.
And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten King Darius, king of Persians and Medes.
You see that? Persians and Medes. So there's a prophecy about what happened with the Persians and Medes, the end of it, right? So go back to Daniel. You know what I'm saying? I just let you know that's where it's the prophecy of what happened. You understand?
Gotcha.
Right? The Bible's is a book full of prophecy. Like there's no prophecy in the Quran. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of so-called wise sayings and mystical things in the Quran.
No, Salakia. There is prophecy in the Quran, but it's the prophecy that's taken from the Bible.
The prophecy that the Quran didn't plagiarize from the Bible. There's none. Right? That's why we ask a lot of Muslims, you say you got a prophet in Muhammad, you call him the prophet Muhammad. Name one prophecy that he got that wasn't in the Bible.
Right. That's the way you gotta ask it too.
Yeah.
Don't say, what's the prophet? Name a prophecy that Muhammad did, and you gotta say that's not in the Bible, because they're gonna quote everything that's from the Bible. So that's how you get them on that later.
All right, we don't care.
Daniel chapter 8, verse 20. The ram which thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king.
And the what?
The first king.
This is the first real king that the Edomites had. The king that's gonna really like have the whole world to tremble. Right? Is the first king. You heard?
Now that being broken, whereas four stood up for it, four kingdoms shall stand out of the nation.
You see that? It said four kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation. Those are the four generals that came out of Alexander after he died quick. Because he was a damn pervert, right? Sleeping with animals, children, men, all that. He was a damn freak bastard. He was Caligula, you know what I'm saying? Before Caligula. You know what I'm saying? You know the white man is a disgusting person, man.
Yeah.
Profane, man.
Profane.
Anything with a pulse. I don't think it even has to have a pulse. Esau want to rub against it for the friction. You know what I'm saying? Esau is disgusting, man. Right?
Let me just, the four generals, this is the four generals and what they ruled. That's Lysimachus, who had Asia Minor. Cassander, who had Macedonia. Seleucus had Syria, Babylon, Persia, and India. And Ptolemy had Egypt. So those were the four generals of Alexander. Those were his generals. So that's what it's speaking about right here, the four kingdoms.
Okay.
That's what the kingdoms that they would rule.
So like if you look at on a map, all those land masses and kingdoms and empires he was named, that's a very wide space, man. These guys damn near ruled the whole damn planet.
And
You know what I'm saying?
that's Asia. You got Asia, you know,
Parts of Africa. You know what I'm saying?
and Europe.
Europe, yeah. And this is before they hit the new world. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you know, too, the white man came over here who was a rat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if Alexander was smart enough to come over here, he would too. But he was a damn beast, and the only thing he cared about was anything that was close that he could kill or have sex with.
And
You know what I'm saying?
he didn't live long.
He ain't lived long. Right? Maybe if he lived to 50, he would have found America or something, or so-called America, or Arswell. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't lived that long. Right? So go back to the Apocrypha before you read on the next.
This is 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead, the first over Greece.
See that? The first king, the first over Greece, right? The prophecy was in the book of Daniel, right? This is prophecy being fulfilled. Read on.
And made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth.
And he slew the kings of the earth, man, by the sword. Because what? That's Esau's blessing. By the sword he shall live, right? And once they ran into our book and they found out the sword was their blessing, they ain't stopped warring since. You understand? Even Trump calls it the war industrial complex. Like they make profit off of war, they continue in war, like they gotta keep war going. That's how they work, right? That's how you know the fake Jews, right? The synagogue of Satan, that's how you know they're not the real Jews over there in our homeland. Because it says when we reach the homeland as a whole, right, that the wars shall cease on earth. Right? The wars multiplied on earth since they came to the homeland. That's because they are the nation of war, they're Esau, right? Read on, King.
And went throughout to the ends of the earth,
Yeah.
and took spoils of many nations.
Read.
So much that the earth was quiet before him.
Right, the earth was quiet before him, man. Like damn, this damn freak of nature, man, come through like freakazoid and beating everybody up, right? Read on.
Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
His heart was lifted up. He was very proud about that. Read on.
And he gathered a mighty and strong host,
Read.
and ruled over countries,
Read.
and nations, and kings,
Go ahead.
who become tributaries unto him.
They became tributaries unto him, right? They all was under him now. He basically sunned up all those nations, especially after he beat the king of Persia, because the king of Persia was like a god. You know what I'm saying? They was calling Darius a god. That's how much weight Darius was holding back then, right? Read on.
And after these things, he fell sick.
He did what?
He fell sick.
He was a damn freak, so he fell sick, man. You know what happened, man? You go to the bathroom, you get that pain. You know something wrong. You know what I'm saying?
God.
You know what I'm saying? A burning sensation, man. All right, read on.
And after these things, he fell sick and perceived that he should die.
Right? He knew he was going to die. He knew that he was sick. He done slept with the wrong horse. Right? The man done slept with the wrong horse and goat. Right? Go ahead.
Wherefore he called his servants, such as were honorable, and he had been brought up with him from his youth, and parted his kingdom.
And did what?
And parted his kingdom among them, while he was yet alive.
See that he parted his kingdom. Well, he did part it in 4 ways. Like the brother just brought it out. He parted it 4 ways to his 4 top generals, like prophesied in the book of Daniel. Read on.
So Alexander reigned 12 years.
He did what?
Reigned 12 years.
That's not much. A president, if he gets reelected, he does 8 years. Right? So he basically got elected by the Edomites for 3 years. Or 3 terms or something. Because 3 times 4 is what, 12?
No, but this is a king.
It's a
There's
king.
no.
It should rain longer.
I know. It's a king, but no, his reign on top is short like leprechauns. Basically. You know what I'm saying? And that's because he was so wicked. You understand? He was messing around with anything that had a pulse. Even if you watch the Alexander movie, you see that he had little boyfriends. And he had a beautiful wife, right? Who's the actress they got to play his wife? Made her a Persian. Was she really 10 tribes?
Yeah, I knew she was like, she was 10 tribes.
Yeah.
She was, everybody was going crazy over her during that time.
Yeah, during that time, everybody's going crazy over her.
Was she, wasn't she in that Scorpion movie?
Yeah, I have to look up the movie now.
Scorpion? Man, what's her name? I can't remember her name.
Ain't no damn Persian woman look as good as her, I'll tell you that. Crazy.
It was kind of cold.
It's a lot of crazy, right?
Yeah, so we don't know what he died from, but more than likely, see, there's nothing new under the sun, and they tell you the white man created AIDS, but I believe AIDS was here because there's nothing new under the sun. You know, it had to be here, even if it was chemically engineered. There was mad scientists back then and evil sorcery. So I'm sure something he had, and then them two, they dealt with witches and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So divinations could come upon the other nations, and Israel that's not fearing the Most High and following the Most High. You can get some voodoo put on you. Don't think you can't, but it can't happen to a brother or sister that's keeping the commandments of the Most High.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? But you can get some voodoo on you. Don't get it twisted. Them Levites, they know they own that left hand side. You know what I'm saying? They can make you get a itch you can't scratch. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know what these Edomites was dealing with back then.
The actress name, her name was Rosario Dawson. Rosario Dawson, right? So basically, they showed that he had a beautiful wife, right? But still wanted a boy. Understand? Still was craving the sexual pleasure from a boy. Understand? That's why the man fell. Like you said, the AIDS is nothing new underneath the sun, so he probably done caught the damn monster. You know what I'm saying? The boogeyman. Right? Hey, read on that.
And his servants bear rule, every one in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
Right?
So did their sons after them, many years.
See that? So it was a reign of terror, basically. Because he done conquered these nations, and now he done Edomites to rule over nations. You know how dictatorial Edomites can be. Look at Cuomo right now, man. Cuomo's a damn dictator, man. He's not even a president, he's a governor. Right? Read on.
And evils were multiplied in the
And
earth.
what?
And evils were multiplied in the earth.
And evils are multiplied on the earth, man. Because whenever Esau's in charge, man, trust and believe this evil's multiplying on the earth, man. He's going to push that pedophilia. He's going to push that homosexuality. He's going to push paganism. He's going to push...
Vaccine.
Huh?
The
He
vaccine.
gonna definitely push that vaccine. That's what he's doing now. He pushing that vaccine. He gonna push all sorts of witchcraft or anything that's how can I say what word am I looking for? But non-healthy for Israelites. Spiritually non-healthy, physically non-healthy, mentally non-healthy. He want to destroy the detrimental, right?
Anything detrimental.
Anything detrimental to you. He's gonna push it, and then he wants you weak and destroyed and serving him, like he's God. That's what goes into Antiochus Epiphanes, because he felt like he was God, so everybody should serve him, and all his pagan deities that he was cool with.
Didn't Trump say that?
Yeah.
Didn't he say he was God or something
Yeah,
like
he
that?
said
He
The
ordained.
great white
He
hope.
ordained president.
Nah, he said he was the
Anointed.
He said he was the anointed king of Israel.
Yeah.
He said he was the
Anointed king of Israel.
He said he was the anointed king of Israel.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's what he said.
Oh, man.
That was burn.
Wow.
Say sorry for that.
That's why he lost the election.
Right. I lost his wig.
And I'm gonna keep saying it. The election ain't over.
Nah, election ain't over.
Election ain't over.
Yeah.
He might win. I don't know. I don't see
Election
no
ain't
problem.
over. All right. They found a whole bunch of stuff, and he's using any
Oh,
excuse.
he in the course
Right now,
It ain't over with.
If
Right now, he got every excuse to say to hell with y'all. I'm staying.
if he stays in, and they do some crazy stuff where the electoral votes and this and that, and everybody gets the House of Congress and everybody gets involved, that's gonna start a crazy war. The Democrats will go crazy. Remember, they was just celebrating. So now all the sodomites, all the Black Lives Matters, all these crazy groups that's out there, anti-Republican, anti-this, the abortion, Antifa, the abortion people, they gonna go crazy. You see what I'm saying? They're worse than the Proud Boys. They're violent. The sodomites are violent, man. You know what I'm saying? The sodomites will fight you. Don't they? That's what these Romans, the Greeks are. Greeks and Romans.
Lock in. The sodomites ain't gonna fight you. They're gonna cut you. They're gonna stab you. They're gonna scratch you. They're gonna bite you.
They're gonna try to kill
They're
you.
gonna kill you. They're gonna spray you with mace.
They gonna fight you too. In jail, the sodomites will kill you,
They kill him.
and they'll beat your behind. They grown men. They men. They got men's strength. That's not. They don't get it twisted. That's men's strength. These niggas act feminine. You know what I'm saying? That's what the damn Greeks were. That's what the Romans were. That's what we dealing with. So a big sodomite, you know, big old RuPaul, 6'10", 6'9". You know what I'm saying? Y'all some big brothers. That nigga gonna give you a run for your money. That nigga gonna give you a run for your money.
I'm going to the laughing part, man. You laughing. There was one that waved at me and I would ape shit.
Yeah, man.
And he was like, yo, I was worried for you, bro. That nigga was like 6'10".
Yeah, man.
I said, yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go.
It ain't no game, man. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Just always be prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, be prepared, man. Remember that homosexual in Vegas? That man was like 6'8" with heels on, talking about Masham Lakau. You know what I'm saying? What he said? He tried to say Yahweh Shah, but he was just so homo when he come out right. Remember that dude in Vegas?
Booty bands.
Yeah.
Booty bands.
And bang that nigga. You know? Good.
I read on it. Yeah. What verse you in?
Verse 10.
Read to verse 14 and read to 11.
And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been an hostage at Rome. And he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks.
You see that? At 137 years, here comes the super wickedest person they can even find. Right? He was an evil, wicked root out of a wicked tree. Right? They say you shall know them by their fruits. So the root was evil, the damn branch was evil, here comes the evil fruit. Right? Read on.
In those days, went out there, out of Israel, wicked men,
Out of Israel, wicked men, go ahead,
who persuaded many, saying,
Who did what?
persuaded many, saying,
When these people, these puppets out here doing,
persuaded many, saying.
right? It still goes on to this day. You got Negroes that's gonna put on their Instagram. They're gonna have 30 million followers on Instagram, and let's say it's a public figure or influencer on their profile. And what they're gonna be doing? Celebrating the paganism. Telling you to do a covenant with the heathen. You know what I'm saying? Let's all love everybody. Let's vote for Biden. You know what I'm saying? That's what they all doing, man. Read on.
Saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
A whole lot of stars are saying, oh, let's vote for Biden. Let's make a covenant with the heathen. Instead of being like, yo, 2020, this has been a hell of a year. Let's separate from these damn crackers, man.
Right.
Let's go buy some land and separate from these crackers. Let them do what they doing. Let us build and watch Babylon fall. Ain't none of them really say nothing like that. Right? Only person that told you to buy land was Kanye. And I think that's why he got 50,000 votes. Right?
With the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we had much sorrow.
And a lot of people feel like that. A lot of people feel like we can't survive without the white man. When it's actually the reverse. They can't survive without us. Right? Read on.
It's a lot of that gonna come again when this vaccine gets implemented.
Yeah.
Because they gonna say, yo, they ain't letting us go in the stores. We can't take a plane. We can't go in the hotels.
Ain't the planes doing that now?
Yeah, we can't.
International, so you can't leave the country.
We can't do nothing. So that, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna say it boldly. If there is a physical mark, the vaccine is way more can be the mark of the beast than the damn chip. It's already being pushed as you can't buy, you can't sell. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no chip doing it. You understand?
They've been talking about that shit for about 30 years now.
And there's a lot also in the vaccine. We gonna go into it, but not today. But there's a lot in that vaccine, from the patent number to the name. There's a lot of science to it that goes back to the number 666. So, and that's really the mark of the beast that's written in Revelation.
Vaccine.
No, the number.
The number.
The number.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, because the Most High is gonna, if it is, the Most High is gonna prove that a lot of people are false prophets. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody talking to chip. So now if it's the vaccine, these guys are false prophets.
Yeah.
Once again. Because they did it for the year 2000. Once again. These are people that claim they got 144,000% truth. Right? 144% truth. That's what they claim they got. These are Israelites we're talking about. So it's a lot, man, but I'm not going on the limb and say we still gotta wait for the prophecies to unfold. You see what I'm saying? But we know it's a spiritual mark. You don't need a mark, a vaccine, if you're a homosexual and you don't repent. You got the mark. You marked for death. You're marked for death. You don't need nothing. You don't need a vaccine. You don't need a chip. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. So, and then if you are the part of the 144,000, right? If you are part of the 144,000, you could get 1,000 vaccines. It ain't gonna do nothing to you. You could get 1,000 chips put in you. They could force it on you and come outside, a chip in every part of your body, and it won't do nothing to you, because you are the Most High's elect. You're sealed. You see what I'm saying? So don't let all this nonsense scare you. It's gonna scare a lot of people though. And that's the reason why we get in the land. If it do hit the fan, and they tell us we can't eat, and we can't buy stuff and all. Well, come and grow some damn crops with us and feed the damn animals and grow and buy a couple chickens, bring your chickens, let them mate with my chickens, and then we get some eggs, and we got some more chicken. You know what I'm saying?
100 have a chicken rack up on your bed.
Right. And we living off the land.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get some goats. I got goats. Made them, put them together. Now we got goat cheese, milk, and food all day long. The same thing with all the animals. You see what I'm saying? We want to get a little half an acre, make a half an acre to a pond, and put some fish in there.
Crazy how everybody in the
You know what
same
I'm saying?
spirit, man.
And we have some fish there. We don't gotta go far. That's called farm raised. We can farm raise some fish. Yeah, some damn salmon, get some salt water. I don't know if it's salt water or fresh water, whatever the hell it is. But we can. It can be done. And that's how you avoid taking the mark of the beast. But you're gonna have Israel have a problem with that too. But I digress.
What you think about people in like the nursing field? You think they're gonna force it on them people, or
Eventually, it's gonna come.
so what my wife want to do? Like what we, you know what I mean?
I just gave the perfect example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't do the real estate like your brother.
Nah.
So then you gotta get with him. You gotta get some more land.
I'm gonna tell you, he pushing more for that than anything.
Yeah. I've been on that for like probably the last 5 years.
Yeah. Well, your wife already got experience in the medical field, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, shoot, you can tell her to hop on line and get a quick business degree and open up her own practice.
Well, crazy, she just opened
she got an agency going on.
So she don't even need to go in there. She just
She can also deal with the herbs more and do some, you know what I'm saying, medicinal stuff and everything. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't need Esau to eat. Like I said, they need us, bro. They need us, we don't need them. They need us.
So lock it. While all this is going on, we worried about a vaccine, things like that. 40%, almost half the whole country is out of work. And then a lot of people are going homeless and hungry. And crime is going up.
It's getting bad right now.
You know, it's going to be like,
Crime is going up.
if it is what it is, it might bring in, you know, if it get real bad, it might bring in martial law.
Oh yeah. They was telling Trump too over the election to enforce that martial law. I seen something on World Star recently.
Right.
Like I don't know how he could do it over the election, but it supposedly is that much fraud going on to where he could do something like that.
Salakia, and Obama made a bill. If he does call martial law, he don't gotta leave office.
What?
I forgot exactly what bill it is, but Obama wrote a bill. If there's a war that breakout, a World War III breakout, or a martial law breakout, or some type of major terrorism attack, he could call a martial law and just sit tight. You don't gotta move nowhere. So that's also a Trump card too. Trump cards.
Yeah, right.
That's also a Trump card too. But jump to verse 20,
Verse 20. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again. Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in 143rd year, and went up against Israel in Jerusalem.
And then what?
Went up against Israel in Jerusalem.
Right, and that's also in the book of Daniel 2, chapter 8. I will go to it now, but I suggest y'all read, man. Right? I think that's in the 30th or 33rd verse of the book of Daniel, where it says he went against the congregation of the Most High. Matter of fact, get that for me, Ike. It says the abomination of desolation, because we're going to read that.
I hate for the whole covenant.
Yeah, they hate the whole covenant, man.
This is
I'll leave it to your discretion when you start from.
I'm gonna start at 22.
This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 22. Now that being broken, wherefore stood upon for it 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. And in the latter time of their kingdom, whence the transgressors are come to full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up, and his power shall be broken, shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and he shall prosper, and persist, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
He just shall destroy who?
The mighty and the holy people.
And that's what he did. It's on prophecy that he destroyed the mighty and holy people. Who are holy people? According to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, we are the holy people. Right? The Israelites, right? Read on.
And through his policy, also he shall
Through his
cause,
what?
through his policy,
Ethan, you want to say something on that? Because this is his policy right now is the vaccines.
Right.
Right? Read on.
also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
He shall cause what?
Craft to prosper in his
And
hand.
that could go into witchcraft, right? Read on.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
And by what?
Peace shall destroy many.
Because that's what the white man does according to Psalms. He shall come saying peace, but wars in his heart. We deal with the same type of people, man. The Edomites back then is the Edomites now.
Right.
These are their tactics. They slither like serpents. Huh? Read.
He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but shall be broken without hand.
But he shall stand up against the prince of princes, be broken without hand. That's what Judas Maccabees did. Remember, Maccabees, the prince of the power, and he broke him. Right, what verse you in?
And it goes into him, getting out of the vision.
Or where it says the abomination of desolation? I'm looking for that too.
This goes into chapter
7.
Yes, it's 2. Well, it says desolation of Jerusalem.
This is Daniel 9, chapter 1. Daniel chapter 9, verse 1. And the first year of Darius, the son of Phrasius.
No, I think this goes into.
Let me get what I'm looking for real quick. Salaki Israel. But matter of fact, go back into Maccabees and read that.
That's going into the house shop.
This is First Maccabees chapter 19. This is First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 19. Thus they got the strong cities in the land of Egypt, and he took the spoils thereof. And after that, Antiochus had smitten Egypt. He returned again in 143rd year. And he went up against Israel and Jerusalem with a great multitude, and entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, and the candlestick of light.
And he took away what?
And the candlestick of light.
So he took away the golden altar and he took away the candlestick of light, the menorah. That's why menorahs are so symbolic, right? When it comes to Hanukkah, he took away the golden candlestick of light. He took away the setup, the whole setup. He defiled it and destroyed it, right? Because Esau, it's holy to us, our altar. But all Esau seen was silver and gold. So he said, let me get that. You know how Esau do? Esau robbed the northern kingdom so hard that his ships sank in the ocean overweighted with gold. That's how Esau is, man. The thief cometh not but to steal and to kill and destroy. Huh?
Let me say something, since you mentioned that. The menorah, we deal with the 7 branches, but the nine ain't off. I know people say, well, that's Amalek, the Amalek. The nine, because Hanukkah is 8 days. The 9 is called the Samash. Y'all can look it up. The 9, the one with the 9, the one in the middle is where you actually put the oil in, and then it brings the oil to the other ones. So that's not theirs neither. Nothing is theirs. You understand? Y'all can look it up. It's called a Samash, and it's called a candelabrum. Candelabrum. And you can look it up, and that 9, that 1 gave oil to the other 8. You understand? So that nothing belongs to Amalek.
Nothing belongs to him.
Nothing.
He created
Except the yarmulkes.
and Moyes. Right. Moy boys. They can keep that. Right. All right, read on, King. What verse you want?
21.
All right, read on.
And entered proudly into the sanctuary, and took away the golden altar, and a candlestick of light, and all the vessels thereof, and the table of the shewbread, and the pouring vessels, and the vials, and the censers of gold, and the veil, and the crowns, and the golden ornaments that were before the temple, all which he pulled off. He took also the silver and the gold, and the precious vessels. Also he took the hidden treasures which he found. And when he had taken all away, he went into his own land, having made a great massacre, and spoken.
You know what?
Great massacre.
What does Esau do to our people?
Massacre.
What do they celebrate with Thanksgiving?
Massacre.
Go ahead.
And spoken very proudly. Therefore, there was great mourning in Israel, in every place where they were.
Read.
So that the princes and elders mourned, the virgins and young men were made feeble, and the beautiful women was changed. Every bridegroom took up lamentation, and she that sat in the marriage chamber was in heaviness.
What verse is that?
Verse 27.
There we go.
Shalom.
The land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion.
Right. Read.
And after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, and who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, and spake peaceable words.
What he did?
Spake peaceable words.
What did Esau do?
Spake peaceable words.
But read on. See what he does after that. Read on.
And spake peaceable words unto them. But all was deceit.
So what?
But all was deceit.
That's what he said. Oh, we care about the black and Hispanics. That's why we want to give you the vaccine first. Right? All was deceit. Right? Read on.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city.
He did what?
He fell suddenly upon the city.
Once they gave him the pass, right? They invited him to the barbecue, right? That's what he wanted to do. All the white people want to get invited to the barbecue, right? Once they invited him to the barbecue, what did he do?
He fell suddenly upon the city.
Read.
And smote it.
And what?
And smote it.
And killed them. Go ahead.
Very sore.
Very sore. Go ahead.
And destroyed much people of Israel.
And destroyed much people of Israel, man.
Salaki. What does that remind you of? That verse right there, what does it remind you of?
Thanksgiving.
Pilgrims and
That's one thing, but they were just celebrating Biden's victory.
Yeah.
Going crazy for Biden.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The whole damn America was going crazy for Biden.
Especially our people.
You see, so that's crazy. You see, and he came with peaceable words. He came with Kamala Harris. You know, we got to them. That's one of us. So now you're bringing one of us with them. You know what I'm saying? Right. The stimulus checks, all of this. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to bring that one. Go ahead.
Reverse, okay.
31.
come.
All right, read 31, then jump to verse 41.
And when he had taken the spoils of the city, he set it on fire, and pulled down the houses and the walls thereof on every side. But the women and children took they captives and possessed the captives.
And possessed the captive. They took the women and children as captives and possessed the captive, man. You see what they did to our people? Right? Jump to 41, King.
Verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom It all should be one people.
Now he talking about we all one people. That's what the white man do. That's what the so-called white man do. That's what the devil do.
Right.
After you done did us dirty, talk about, oh, we all one people.
Right.
We all brothers now. Right?
Get over it.
Get over it.
Yeah, get over it.
Get over it.
Forget about slavery.
Forget about slavery.
We're together now.
We're together now. We're all one
Right.
people. We're all Democrats.
This is America.
This is America. We're all one people. And our people fall for it, but you can't forgive your brother that just stepped on your shoe. Your brother transgressed you once, y'all got beef forever.
And dropping diss tracks.
And dropping diss tracks. You know what I'm saying? And smacking up your brothers. And we're ready to pull our pistol on your brothers, right? The little young boys act like they was gonna pull a pistol out on me when I told them to get rid of that weak rap music. Because all the rappers is dropping dead. You understand? So, look what's going on now though, right? But when the white man tell you we all one people, y'all niggas get rocked right back to sleep. Right? Read on.
And everyone should leave his laws.
Everyone should what?
Leave his laws.
And that's all they want you to do. They want you to leave the laws of the Most High, man. They want you to get off that real G code, man. Right? Read on.
So all the heathen agreed according to the commandments of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented.
Many of the Israelites did what?
Consented.
They co-signed this nonsense, man. A lot of our people, you're going to see in these last days, man, a lot of people going to fold up, especially certain people in Israel, man. You already see certain Israelites turn their back into Christians. Quick fast.
And calling the police.
Right? And you see certain Israelites calling the police, man. Right? Read on.
Yea, many also of Israel, of the Israelites, also consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto idols, and profaned the Shabbat.
And they did what?
And profaned the Shabbat.
They profaned the Shabbat, man.
Yeah, you ain't gotta keep it.
You ain't got to keep it no more. You ain't got to keep the Shabbat no more. Wickedness, right? Right? That's a certain men are teaching now. Read on. Ain't nothing new underneath the sun. Y'all just get this right in your head. Ain't nothing new underneath the sun. The same old trick Shatan did, and the same old tricks he's doing now. Right? Read on.
For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Follow what?
The strange laws of the land.
Strange laws of the land. No, Romans 13. Some guys are going to use that excuse. Right? Romans 13 only applies if they're not making you break the Most High's laws.
Right.
You follow the laws of the land, and I'll do a sit down about that. You only follow the laws of the land as long as they not make you break the Most High's laws. That's the only way you follow the laws of the land. Because the Most High laws, nothing trumps the Most High's laws.
Look at Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali wasn't keeping the laws of the Most High, but he kept that law when he didn't go to war, and he took the jail time. He said, and that's why that's the greatest of all time. You know what I'm saying? He stood up to Esau, and he took that jail time, and he was a champion of the world, and he could have kept boxing. He could have, well, I don't know if he would have kept boxing going to war, but Esau hated him that much that he's the champion of the world. You want to send him to war. You see what I'm saying?
Be a poster boy for the
Right.
war.
Yeah, he's supposed to go through it. They probably never had a really battle neither. But he just ain't want to lead his people to the damn slaughter like the Judas goat. You know what I'm saying?
And he took that time like he took it on his chin.
Yeah.
Yeah, that made
That's a real man.
that made Vietnam very unpopular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That made Vietnam war very unpopular.
Yeah. And they had to back down out of it. Nobody was hitting them with jump kicks. But read on, King.
And forbid burnt offerings.
And they did what?
Forbid burnt
They
offerings.
forbid the burnt offerings, man. Read on.
And sacrifice and drink offerings.
Right?
And the temple. And that they should profane the Shabbats and the festival days.
Read.
And pollute the sanctuary and the holy people.
And they polluted the sanctuary and the holy people. Our people became polluted, man. Disgusting degenerates. Like you see our people out there in 5 Points, man. Like you see your brothers out there in Augusta. And you see your brothers out there where you at, King. All our brothers is just disgusted and polluted, man. I go to New York, man. Our people strictly polluted, man. But what's that one block in Manhattan that's just like Camden?
33rd Street.
33rd, boy.
Broadwood.
Yeah.
33rd.
Washington Heights.
Nah, 33rd Street, right before Madison Square Garden Street on the entrance. That one block, it looks like Camden.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
It looks like Camden. Dope fiends laid out, crackheads digging in people's pockets, niggas smoking K2. Everybody, yo, it look crazy. It don't look like a Manhattan block.
Don't look like a Manhattan block.
We walked there. We said, what the hell is this?
So we went to a quarter line.
Yeah, it was a super border. And we was going we was going to Jersey, right? We was going somewhere. I think it was Camden. It was like, yo, this is Camden here. This is Camden. Yeah, man. 33rd.
33, right? But yeah.
And I got something in this book right here. This is the Rose Then and Now Bible Map Atlas by Paul H. Wright, a PhD historian, right? It says, like Judaism, Hellenism was an all-encompassing way of life, a package of thought and behavior that defines one view of oneself, others, and the world of the vines. Hellenism had political, social, economic, cultural, and religious aspects. And to be a good citizen of the world and participate in the social economic opportunities of the time, one had to be a good Hellenist.
Wow.
So it's the same way when we go into this world. They're talking about if you don't practice this religion or this social economic part, if you don't practice these things, that's what we say the mark is what? It's spiritual. It doesn't have to be a literal thing, but it goes in, if you don't accept the philosophies of the world and be a good Hellenist, you couldn't
a good slave.
Yeah, you couldn't take part of their society at that time.
Because a good slave is going to take the vaccine without question. See?
Yeah.
No question. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to fight it. Oh man, they ain't going to let us do this. I can't get a job. Nah, I got to take the vaccine. And you metamorphosing into, don't know what the hell, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You know what I'm saying? Shredder drinking the ooze. You know, Master Splinter. You don't know what this stuff is doing. And then they put a 90-year-old white girl, say white lady, talking about she the first one. You don't know what they doing. You ain't right there looking at the shot and know what's in that. You know what I'm saying? The Rock did this recently. The Rock, the wrestler.
He took a vaccine?
No, The Rock, he did a video and he was shouting out Casanova. And they challenged him on this vodka that he made. So everybody to drink the most vodka out the bottle. It's a big bottle. And see who could drink the most, not vodka, tequila. The most tequila out the bottle. So this fool, he's drinking, and he drunk the bottle like halfway. The Rock, he's like, nobody can deal with me. You see? And then he was like, nah, I'm just kidding, man. I filled it up with water. You see what I'm saying? So you don't know, bruh. That's what they can be giving these people. They put water in it.
It's funny that you said that because what is it called? Pfizer and Moderna. Pfizer and Moderna, they're giving out placebo shots to certain patients, and then they're giving out real shots to certain patients. So now, in all actuality, if you're about to do any type of research, you have to use the real thing. So now they don't even know what the hell. Like people are saying they having side effects that for real they having like their whole electrical their whole system shuts down. Like they can't move their legs, they can't move certain arm parts, and other people are like, I'm fine. You don't know that guy got the placebo and that guy got the real one. Right. So
we've been here before too with the Tuskegee experiments with them putting syphilis in us and all. I mean, we've been in lab rats before.
Believe it. If you got Israel on the line for their vaccine and you got Esau on the line, more than likely you're getting the real vaccine.
That's right.
Negroes and the Mexicans is getting the real vaccine. They're gonna test us out first, and they're gonna look out for their own kind.
Yeah.
That's just, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah, I got more in this. It says,
Good.
This, of course, was cultural imperialism with a strong economic incentive for the relative few who could take advantage of the system. The massive Judean and Galilean peasants in Palestine were used to being protected, at least in theory, by building in provisions for the poor found in the Torah. But in time of Hellenistic thinking wrapped itself around the Jewish aristocracy that ran their country, and most of the people underneath simply felt exploited. Jews who were able to participate in the opportunities of Hellenism generally separated themselves from its religious aspects, and was relatively straightforward, for instance, to denounce Hellenistic idolatry and to refuse to participate in the activities and celebrations of the pagan cult. Defining the proper boundaries of other aspects of Hellenism remain problematic. Right? It's just the same way. When you have majority of our people in Israel and America, the poor, we feel like we use. But you get those few top elite, like Shaq, like, Floyd Mayweather. You get the top that, some don't really practice, and then some do actually go full out. But it's the same way, nothing changed. The bottom is always exploited, which is the majority of Israel, and it's those few.
There's that we remember.
Well, I'm gonna use one statement. It says a classic statement is that of Hezekiah and Adderah, and contemporary of Alexander the Great, who thought generally sympathetic to the Jews, noted that they were somewhat antisocial and hostile to strangers. And look at Israel. That's how we are. We can't even fit into society. Most of us are pretty much exiled out of society. They think we thugs. They think we killers. They think we murderers. They think we're not going to be anything in life. You had Donald Trump say Haiti was a SHIT whole country. They talks about, Donald Trump went against the Central Park 5. They look at us like, and then you got Hillary Clinton.
Throwing bounties in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, throwing bounties.
After the biggest hurricane. Like, you ain't even give niggas a mop. Like, yo, clean it with the bounty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we hostile and antisocial to them because the things that they've done to us, man.
They're building a wall for Issachar. They're the most terrorists, they're the most thuggish gangsters of
they call them rapists.
Right, rapists and all types of, like, someone who raped the whole country. And we're talking about the rapist.
Someone that said grab her by the
in the world.
Yeah, someone that said grab them by the you-know-what is saying that MS-13 are all Mexicans are rapists.
Yeah.
Right.
Esau.
Is more on that though?
It says, perhaps more than any other single issue of the times, it was Jewish response to Hellenism and vice versa that came to define life in the land. And of the Bible during the intertestamental period, this